Hello guys and welcome to a new YouTube series of videos that I'll be answering some of the SOLIDWORKS API forum questions. Today's question is about getting the length of a belt feature and also taking that information, the length of the belt, and put it and adding it as a custom property to the belt itself. Although I think that by default, when you create a belt feature, SOLIDWORKS automatically adds that length to as a custom property to, I think I might be wrong, to the belt itself. But never mind that. We'll just try to answer the question to our best. So this is the the example that we'll be working on. I'm going to go to my macro editor right here, and for our macro, I think we're gonna need only one precondition, is that we know ahead of the runtime the name of the belt feature. So I'll begin with a precondition, as in precondition um, belt feature name known ahead of runtime. So that's the only precondition. So let's go ahead and define the usual SW app as SLDWorks, dim SW model as sorry, as SLDWorks dot model doc2, dim SW, nope, we'll go for the features array. So as variant, we're gonna traverse all the features, so we're gonna need a dummy variable. Let's call it feature. We'll use that for the for each loop, and then dim SW feature as SLDWorks.feature. And now let's jump to our main subroutine. I've only skipped a few lines just because we're gonna need to add a few more variable declarations later. So we'll get the SOLIDWORKS application. All right, so set SW app equals application dot SLD works. All right, next is get the active doc. So set SW model equals to SW app, get active doc. Rather, not get active doc. Active doc is the right property. If you want to make sure that the macro takes care of all the case scenarios, we've got to make sure we will need to see if the SW model is nothing or not, or whether the SW model is representing a part. So we're not going to do that for now. The purpose is to simply answer the question. So we'll just skip to the next to getting the features. So get all features. So by that I mean get all the features at all the levels. So that will be features equal to SW model feature manager get features, and that will be false for the top level um, argument. Next, traverse all features. And what we are going to do here is that we're going to traverse all the features in this assembly and find those that are sketches, and then check the parent of the feature, and check if the type of that parent is belt and the name is belt1. So let's do that. Okay, so for each feature in features, next feature, set SW feature equals to feature. Then check if feature is a sketch. So we do that if SW feature get type name 2 is equal to profile feature. Then when it's a sketch, we are going to get the owner. So here, dim SW owner feature as SLDWorks dot feature. So we go back in here and we say check if owner feature is a belt typed feature and its name is belt 1. To make things a little bit more dynamic, let's go here and declare belt feature name as string, and while we'll add it, we'll declare a double for the length, so as double. We'll initiate that init here, so belt feature name equals to, in our case that will be belt 1. Guys, we need to respect the casing. And the next thing will be to get the length, so length will be here 0. Rather set the length rather. Length will be 0, right? So is belt feature name here. Now if sw rather we need to set, so set sw owner feature equals to sw feature get owner feature. Now if sw feature owner feature get type name to is equal to, let's say the name is the type is equal to belt, and sorry, that was me thinking that's C#. SW owner feature get name, rather just name, plain name, is belt feature name, then right, and if we'll then get the sketch segments, right? So let's go up here and say that we need to get the sketch segments. We need to get the sketch specific feature, but that since we're traversing a list of, or rather an array of features, we need, when we get the right sketch, obviously, we'll need to get the sketch segments, and we only can do that if we get the feature that we found and cast that into a feature into a sketch. So sorry, so SW sketch here, and we'll see exactly what that means in just a second. So dim SW sketch as SLDworks.sketch. So that's the sketch. The next thing is to get the sketch segments as SLD as variant. Sorry. To traverse that, we'll get the sketch segment and SW sketch segments as SLDworks.sketch sketch segment. That's to get the length. All right, let's go down here. So here we'll get set SW sketch equals to SW sketch SW feature, right? Get specific feature, and then SW sketch segments equals to SW sketch get sketch segments, and then for each sketch segment and not SW sketch segments in SW sketch segments. Next, small typo. Set SW sketch segment equals to SW sketch. Yeah, just sketch segment, sorry. And then length will be equal to length plus SW sketch segment get length. And we have made a very small mistake. Sorry. The mistake is that when we are traversing these sketch segments, we need to make sure that the sketch segment is not a construction line. So construction geometry is equal to false, then and if, now let's go to the end here and say debug print debug print belt length is equal to round. We're gonna round it to 2 decimal places, so that will be length. And we need a and here round 2. That needs to be times 1,000 because it's in meters, and another plus sign here, another and sign that will be in millimeters. So let's cross our fingers and click on run. Hold on a second. And there you go. It did compile correctly. Now, to answer the second part of the question, we need to add this custom property, this information as a custom property into the belt. So how do we get this feature right here? Once we get the sketch, we'll get this feature, right? By using a method called getNextSubFeature, right? And that will give us the feature, which we'll need to get the specific feature, which is a component, and then we'll get from it the path name of the file. So right after this line right here, right after we get the right after this, we'll define dim belt feature belt part, let's call it belt part, as path as string. So we'll go down here and we'll say equals to now before we do that, I said we'll okay, go back to the declarations right here, and we'll define SW comp feature as SOLIDWORKS.feature. So that will be the feature, and then SW comp component as SOLIDWORKS.component2, and finally SW model comp component model doc as SOLIDWORKS.modeldoc2. We'll go down here, right here, I think. Then we will set SW comp feature equals to SW feature get next sub feature. This would only work if the next sub feature, if the sketch next sub feature is the belt itself. And after that, we will get set SW component equals to SW component comp feature get specific feature. And then where is the yeah, nope, the belt part, the path, so that will be SW component get file get path name. Now after we debug print the path, we'll go and open the document, make it visible, add the custom property, and then close it and save. So what we are going to do here basically is to set the SW model comp equals to SW app open doc. That will be the belt part path, and the type will be swcons.sw document type, and that will be a part. After that, we are going, let's set it as visible so we can see it as it happens. Sorry, we can't set it. We will simply change the visible property. Why isn't it not? Okay, so yeah, mistake with the name. So here that will be, sorry. So that it will be visible, and after that we will go and I think let's just take this bit right here, part right here. Thank you, VBA, and let's dim a string, dim a val as string, and say val equals to this, and then just copy this here, and that will make it easier when we add the custom property. So SW component model doc add sorry extension custom property manager. We want the default we want to add just a custom property and not a a configuration specific custom property. Add two. The field name will be belt length. I call it belt length in millimeters. The field type will be SW SW custom property custom info. Oops. Custom info. Sorry. Custom info. I'm looking for the text one. Yep. Text, I want it to be as text. And here we'll have val, right? We don't need the parentheses, I think. Right. And do you know what? Let's we can actually define an integer right here and see if the add properties returning things 0 will be success. So let's do that. Why not? So Tim ret as integer, right? Ret equals 2. Now we add the parenthesis. So if ret equals 0, then debug print belt length custom property was added successfully. Else and if debug print error while adding belt length custom property. Yeah. All right. After we do that, we will SW component model doc save it, right? And we will say SW app quit doc SW component model doc get title. So this will close the belt part. So let's give it a try. So we do have an error while perhaps let's go and check it and check add 3. Let's see the return, the value of the return. So 1 is failed generic, so this is a fail because it added. Let's the value is 0. So if I click that, I don't really what happened. I don't really know, but it seemed to have worked. So if I just go here and let me open this, right, and go here and go to the properties. Yep, it did add a belt length in millimeters custom property and added the value. All right, I think this um, eventually answers the question. Um, I'll put this in my GitHub and put the link to this code right here, so you can guys use it. If you have any questions, you can put a comment in the in the comment section, and you can also send me an email to ammon@cadhero.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.